Hey, so now I'm starting on Edelgard's big cape. It's a huge part of the cosplay. I'm opening on my computer right now to get some reference images up to look at before really planning anything too much. So I know she has the tall black collar, white lining, and red outside of the cape, and then she has like dangly things towards the end. I don't know what to call them, but I'm gonna look at it and then we're gonna sketch it out and then get to cutting and everything. I have a pattern actually for the cape. So it's Simplicity 8770 for the cape pattern, and I'm using, I don't know which letter name I'm using. Okay, I've looked at the images and it determined I have no clue how to make this, but I'm gonna do my best. So I've never made a cape. This is going to be a new challenge. It'll be very entertaining for you guys to watch. So I'm gonna just start with cutting the fabric. And I'm also going to find the pattern instructions so then I can read the pattern instructions. Thank goodness there's a pattern for this. I think the most confusing part to me is the lining actually. Somebody in the comments, please clarify this for me if you can. But I'm still new to a lot of things in sewing. But the lining in the cape is like, so I know when you make a skirt, you're not supposed to attach the bottom of the lining. But when you make a cape, like online so far, it looks like you attach the bottom of the lining. And it's like really important for this that the inside is white and the outside is red. So I don't know what I need to do. But for now, I'm just gonna start with cutting the fabric. I think that's always a good first step. And then reading the instructions, getting organized, all of that. I think I figured out I'm gonna put a photo here to show you guys what I mean by frilly things on the end. I think I figured out how I'm gonna do the frilly things on the end too. It's gonna be, I'm glad I got the patterns in advance, but like I don't think anxious is the right word to explain how I feel. It's just like, it's like when you encounter the question on a test that you're like 20% sure you have correct, you're just like, here goes nothing. Really big project when I'm putting stuff on the floor and the table because there's not enough space. I'm making sure to save all my scraps too for all those bottom strips because we are going to need a lot of extra fabric to make those with. Okay, so I finished cutting out all the pattern pieces. They're all stacked over there. I'm going to start ironing all of these pieces and marking them, which I'm not going to show because honestly that's super boring and there's no need to show it. At least what I'd like to get done today is just sewing the pieces of the main layer of the cape together and starting to cut the lining. Because I want to know if I have enough lining even. Like, I don't think I bought enough fabric for the lining. Any little wrinkles. This is why I much prefer to iron it out when it is in this state. It's a little, I don't know, I feel like I'm just going to sew the back part together and leave off these little front pieces. And then try it on and see if it looks closer to the photo. Because, you know, if I sew those on, that's a lot of seam ripping to be done. Took a second, but it sits right at the shoulder rather than like far away and rather than up front. And though it's going to be lined, I'm doing French seams all over the inside, which is, there's the seam, and then I ironed it. So then this is what you'll feel or see on the inside. The cape is, the top layer is completed. I am just going to keep it to this. I'm not going to sew on the front pieces because this is absolutely perfect. Ready? I can do something. Watch how cool this looks. So I went to SAC Anime last weekend and I've been super focused on editing that content. I just got bitten. This little crazy guy. I just played with him. It's not like I'm depriving him. Okay. So I went to SAC Anime and it was really exhausting, so I haven't had a lot of time to work on this. But Fire Emblem Engage comes out in like 5 days. So I actually want to finish that before then. So I'll show you kind of where I left off, and I really do think it's getting pretty close to the finish, and I think some of the things that are left are like the little accessories and details of the cosplay, such as like her little horns and things like that. So I don't really know what I'll post today, but I will show you where we left off. So I have this, I think I showed you guys the outer part of the cape, but I have the lining done. Oh my gosh, close. So you'd be seeing this glittery white from the inside of the cape, because her cape is white on the inside. And then I'll put some photos up on the screen here of the bottom of the cape. But the bottom of her cape has these like things that hang down a couple inches, and they like, I need to stop saying like so much. But there's gold at the top that holds them all in place, and I think I'm gonna do gold bias tape on the outside and on the inside. And then, I'm being nipped, stop nipping me. Inside layer is white, and the outside layer is red. So what I'm gonna do is cut like a gazillion little red and white, like rectangles that are all identical, and check how many I need for the bottom of the cape before finishing off the bottom. But right now, I just picked up some interfacing to make the collar of the cape, because that's like black fabric, which I have a ton of scrap black fabric, so I'm just gonna probably use some of that. I'm gonna see, there's like a collar that's on one of the cape like pieces. I'm gonna see if I can find that in the pattern so I don't have to drape one, and then I think I just need to cut it a little bit shorter. I found the collar in the sewing pattern. Woohoo! Okay, I sewed together this collar, and I'm gonna sew this into the cape. Okay, so this is where I left off right now. I attached the lining to the main cape part, and I added a top stitch and then ironed it down. And I think that looks quite nice. And then the collar's up here. And then I'm gonna find a way, I'll probably have it snap here and then snap here to stay on the cosplay. But I think it actually came out quite nicely. Next up is the bottom, which is going to be a lot of work though. Okay, I might have to make more of them, but let's iron them out and just see how they turn out after some ironing. Okay, I'm gonna close all these up now, and then we'll see how many more we need to make. Okay, so I think I have like exactly half of them that I need, so I have to make double the amount. Okay, these have been so tedious to make. Do you see how it is literally dark out? Like, dark out. These have been so tedious. They've taken me all week. Okay, so this is where we're leaving off for this video. So there's the cape, inside of the cape, outside of the cape. I'll show you close up. So here's what like the inside of the cape looks like. Here's what like the inside of the cape looks like right here. And then the outside of the cape. I haven't cleaned it up yet and everything needs a good press. Here's the pleating on the top, the neck piece. There's like a little cutout type thing on the back. Alright, so next up will be detail work. There's like little gold buttons that'll go along the bottom, buttons here. There's like a little waist piece that'll go here. And there's a neck piece and a head piece and a lot of details. That might be a part 4 or it might not be. It depends. Sometimes I can buy a lot of the accessories and then paint them. Other times I can't. But thank you very much for watching. It's come so far. This was so hard and so much work. The only thing I followed a pattern for in the entire project was the cape, which I somewhat followed a pattern for. and then the rest of the way I had to do myself. I don't think this is my best of work, but it's definitely a huge improvement, and since starting to make cosplay last year in September, I think I've come such a long way compared to where I was then. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Bye! Love you all!